So welcome to week 5. We don't have very many people here yet, but hopefully they're going to come. Today we're working on the topic and the main idea. And after class today, you're going to have a small practice that you have to do right after class. So I'll try to end class a little early so you have time to do it. It's like a 10-minute practice on the main idea. And then tomorrow you also have a test. So let's take a look at why is it important to be able to identify the topic and main idea in a text? Anybody want to say anything? There's only a few of you here. So if you want to chat, you can chat. If not, you can just tell me. Why is it important? Yes, Marcel, go ahead.
I think. Sorry, Mr. Mohib, I'm sorry. I think main idea and topic is important because if we don't know what we're reading about, then the whole text is meaningless, and we're just wasting our time reading some text, and
correct.
We
Yes,
won't get anything from it.
Right. So what are some ways, and we've talked about some of these things, what are some methods we can use to identify the topic and the main idea?
From my point of view, I think that is the topic. Just read the title, what the title says, what the title, what ideas or the topics included in this title, the main title, and what the title says to us. And first, and after that, read the first sentence of the topic. Then it will tell us everything, what the whole passage or whole topic of this main idea.
Right. And also read the first sentence and the last sentence and see what words that you see. Like if you see a word that's used over and over again, that's probably a very important word. So there are 2 types of readings that we do. One is academic text. So when you read an academic text, you read the introduction, you look for a thesis, the author's point of view. You read the first and last sentences in the paragraphs, and then you read the concluding paragraph. You leave the body until you get what you think the main idea is. That's for academic text. Now, some of the texts we're reading are newspapers, right? So they're a little bit different. In a newspaper article, you want to read the first paragraph because that usually states the topic. And then you want to look for the answers to the following: who, what, when, where, and why. So all newspapers, they must always say who it's about, what it's about, when it happened, where it happened, and why it happened. So there are kind of different types of reading that you do when you between the newspaper article and the academic text. Any questions about that? Are we good? I guess we're good, huh? All right.
Yes, we're good.
So let's take a look here. Can you guys see the screen? I don't know if you're seeing what you're seeing. Are you seeing two screens? I'm going to try and switch this.
Yes, we are
I
seeing
think this
2
is better.
screens.
This is better, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Miss.
Yeah, this is better. Okay, so let's take a look here. So the topic can be the name of a thing with many parts. For example, we have the house, and a house has a roof, walls, windows, stairs, and doors. The topic would be the house, and the parts would be the roof, the walls, the windows, the stairs, and the doors. So then we can have the name for a general idea that includes more specific things like camping. Have you guys ever done camping?
Yes, Miss.
No.
Have you slept in a tent? Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, let me see if I can go back. My computer is not operating right today. Okay, here we are. All right. So the camping, in this case, we're looking at general idea that includes more specific things. For example, tent, sleeping bag, campfire, water bottle, mosquitoes. That would describe camping. And then the third one is the name of groups of things or people. For example, Lufthansa, United, Qantas, and Delta are airline companies. So let's take a look at the next screen. The topic should not be too general or too specific. It should just fit the words on the list. So in the last example, airline companies is a good topic for the list of words. Companies is too general. American airline companies is too specific because only 2 of the companies are American. So you have to be very careful not to be too general or too specific when you try and figure out what your topic is. So now we're going to practice, and there's very few people here today. So maybe we'll just do it all together. I have a practice activity, but I think with the few people that we have, I don't know where everybody is today. Usually everybody's here. All right, here we go. So this is the first activity. So what you're going to do, I was going to have everybody do this in groups, but we'll do it all together, is you're going to tell me which word doesn't belong. For example, in this first one, cows, sheep, pigs, mice, goats, and chicken. Mice doesn't belong because these other animals are animals that are for meat, right? You don't eat mice, right?
Sorry, miss, we cannot hear, we cannot see the words you're talking about.
You
We
can't
just see the slide of picture.
You don't see the words?
Yeah, we cannot visible the
Okay, so let
next.
me try resharing. Maybe I have to share screen. Here we go. Now you can see the words, right?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, and let me go for a slideshow so you can see it really big. Okay. So we're going to look at these words and we're going to figure out which word doesn't belong and then what the topic is. Okay. So in the first example, I'll just review it again. We have cows, sheep, pigs, goats, chicken, and mice. And the reason why mice doesn't belong is because we can eat cows, we can eat sheep, we can eat pigs, we can eat goats, and we can eat chickens, but we can't eat mice, right? So
Yeah.
the topic is farm animals that are kept for meat. Okay, let's look at number 2. I don't know. I hope you know these words. Wasp, pigeon, bee, fly, and butterfly.
Wasp.
It's pigeon.
Why?
The other ones are insects. And
No,
pigeon
it's fly, I think. Wasp.
So fly, pigeon, and wasp, I heard. Actually, it's pigeon. I don't know who said pigeon. Because wasp is an insect, bee is an insect, fly is an insect, and butterfly is an insect. But pigeon is a bird. So what would be the
It's a bird.
topic?
The topic will be about insects.
Okay, and what all these insects can do something, right? They can
They can sting,
So,
fly,
or-
right?
fly.
A wasp can fly, a bee can fly, a butterfly can fly, and a fly can fly. So it's insects that can fly. Do you see how we narrowed down the topic?
Yes.
Okay, let's try number 3. We have steam. This is cooking. Steam, bake, roast, boil, stir, and fry.
Stir.
Stir.
Why?
Because the other ones are for cooking and the stir is just a process of it, I guess.
Okay, so what topic would you call this? What would you call this?
Cooking.
Mm.
They are
Cooking,
all
Type of
baking.
cooking.
cooked.
Different way. Yeah, you don't want to say cooking because when you're cooking, you're also stirring, right? That's too
They
general.
are cooked.
So types of cooking, maybe.
Type of cooking. Type
Yeah,
of
types
cooking.
of cooking. Okay, let's do number 4. So we have wrist, rib, shoulder, elbow, knee, and hip.
It's hip.
Why?
No, all of them are
The
part
other
of
ones
body.
are the other ones
Elbow.
belong
Parts of
to
body.
our arms and hand. Hip is far away from them.
No, if
The other ones
if
are
it's possible,
joints.
so rib is belong to our chest, knee and hip is belong to our lower extremities, and wrist and shoulder is belong to our upper extremities. So all of them are the same. All of them are our parts of the body. So we cannot delete any
Yes.
of them.
Yes, you can delete one. Okay, think about this. You have a wrist
I
here.
think it's hip. They are joints,
I think
and
it's
hip is
elbow.
not a
Elbow
joint.
is the part of
I
our
think
face.
this is
Okay,
But the
whoever
other is the
says
part of
joints, you are
I'm
right.
saying it, ma'am.
So which
are
one
not
is not a
joints.
joint?
Hip
elbow.
is a joint, knee
Hip is a
joint,
joint,
elbow
knee is a
also
joint, elbow is a
shoulder,
joint.
yes.
What about
But
rib?
wrist is not
Rib.
joint.
No,
Sorry.
I think rib
wrist
is
is a
different.
joint. Right here, this is your joint.
Rib is
Rib-
different
Rib is
because
not a
it
joint.
is the
rib
only
is
bone
here,
in your
different.
right?
While others are joined or parts of the body where bones meet.
Parts of the bodies that are joints. That's the answer here, right? Because rib is not a joint, right?
Rib is eliminated.
Yeah, rib is eliminated. Good. Okay.
But if we study about the ribs, they have joint, costochondral joints.
What your rib doesn't have joints. Your ribs are
When they
bones
want
that
to
go across.
when they fuse with our sternum, they have joints.
All right. I'll give you that one. Good. That's good. I'll give you that one. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. I'm gonna have to stop sharing again because the way I'm doing it today, I have to open the PowerPoint. We're gonna come back to this Google slide in a minute. Let me get the PowerPoint going. So presenter view. And then let me see if I can share. No, I don't want to share that one. I want to share this, but I want to share. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's go to the next slide.
Yes.
All right, so we did all that. All right, so who would like to read this for me? Okay, go ahead, Marcel.
I want to write.
Yeah.
Recognizing the topic of a paragraph, knowing the topic is important. Even when you know all the words and grammar, you cannot understand a passage if you don't know the topic. The topic gives you a context for the ideas and information in the passage. It allows you to connect them to things you already know. Then the passage makes sense to you. Good readers always look for the topic when they start reading. Writers usually try to help readers figure out the topic by stating it near the beginning and repeating it a number of times. In a paragraph, you will also find specific facts and ideas that describe or explain the topic. These are the supporting facts and ideas. They may be parts, details, or examples of the topic, as with the topic of the lists.
Good, thank you. So who would like to read this one? Go ahead, Razia.
Okay. From that one that is circled, miss.
Yeah,
Okay. Monticello?
it's Monticello.
Monticello. It's Monticello. Monticello in Charlottes. Okay, so next, miss.
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yes, Virginia was the home of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. This house is a fine example of early 18th century American architecture. Jefferson designed it himself in a style he had admired in Italy. Many American buildings of that time, in fact, imitated European styles, but while most were just imitating, his Monticello is lovely in itself. Furthermore, design combines a graceful style with a typical American concern for comfort.
So you can see that the main idea is about the home of Thomas Jefferson, right? And then
Yeah.
the supporting points is a fine example of early 18th century American architecture. Jefferson designed it himself in a style he admired in Italy. And Monticello is lovely. And the design combines a graceful style with a typical American concern for comfort. So those are all your details. But the main idea was this house, Monticello, in Charlottesville, Virginia. So there we go. You can see the topic is Thomas Jefferson's home. And then these are all your supporting facts and ideas. So let's read this one. Who hasn't read yet? Somebody who hasn't read.
Can I read?
Okay, Freshta,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Building materials. People build their houses out of many different kinds of materials. They usually use the materials that are most easily available to them. In North America, for example, many people build their houses of wood. There are large areas of forests, so wood is easy to get and expensive. In countries around the Mediterranean Sea, there are few forests, so people use other materials, especially stone and brick. In tropical areas of Africa and Asia, people do not need thick walls, so they build houses with other kinds of material, like bamboo and other plants. Finally, in extremely cold climates, such as northern Canada and Alaska, the only material that is easily available is ice. Until recently, people made their houses from blocks of ice. Now they use other materials.
Right. So looking at this, what do you think is the topic? A, B, or C?
I think the topic must be B,
B.
materials used for
Material.
houses.
Very good. Ice
Yes,
houses in
B.
Canada is too specific.
It's specific, yeah.
Yeah, and houses around the world is too general.
General.
You're getting it. That's good. Okay, we haven't. Yeah. Bibi Hadisa, you want to read next, right? Hadisa? Are you ready to read, Hadisa?
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
what happened?
it-
I lost it. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Main ideas in paragraphs. The main idea, the writer's idea about the topic, gives you a more complete understanding of the topic. When you are reading, you should first decide on the topic, then ask yourself, what does the writer want to say about the topic? For any topic, writers may develop different main ideas.
Correct. Very good. Thank you. So let's read this one. Raya, did you want to read? I saw your hand was up.
Yeah. Example, topic, the effects of watching television. Possible main ideas. A, children who watch a lot of television may have problems at school. B, some people today watch a lot of television every day. C, television has negative effects on family life.
Right.
As
So
with topics, the main okay.
go ahead. Finish. Yeah.
As with topics, the main idea should just fit the paragraph and should not be too general or too specific. The paragraph may or may not include a sentence that expresses the main idea. You may need to use information from several sentences to understand the main idea.
So, but all three of these, A, B, and C, are all possible main ideas for a topic of the effects of watching TV, right? So it depends on how the writer puts these ideas together that you figure out what the real main idea is. So I think I saw Lida with her hand up. Would you like to read?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Read the paragraph and circle the best main idea. Television. In the 1950s, when television was new, it seems to bring families together. More than 50 years later, psychologists have a very different view of the effects of television. Many studies how that show that it can influence family life in quite a negative way. In fact, television stops most communication among family members. When families watch the television news during dinner, for example, their attention is on the television screen. They do not talk about the events of their day or about their problems or feelings. This lack of interaction may mean that there are fewer arguments at the dinner table. However, according to psychologists, arguments are better than no interaction at all in the family. The lack of interaction can lead to serious problems, including parent-child conflict, difficulty at school, and divorce. Main idea, children who watch a lot, I cannot see this.
Oh,
A lot of television may have problem at school. Ma'am, I cannot see the B and C.
okay, okay, so I'll read for you. B, some people today watch a lot of television every day. And C, television has negative effects on family life. So what is the main idea of this paragraph?
C, ma'am,
I
C.
think
Television
the C
has
one.
negative effects
C.
on family
Very
life.
good, very good. That means you guys are getting it. That's great. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, C is the answer. Okay, this is about elephants. Who has not read yet? Sahar, go ahead.
Elephants are the largest animals on land. Whales are the largest animals in the sea, apart from the fact that they are both large. These two animals share many characteristics. Some biologists, in fact, believe that kin may be related. There's a lot of evidence to support this idea. The shape of the elephant's head, for example, is similar to a whale's. Both animals are also excellent swimmers. Whales live their whole lives in the sea. Of course, while elephants have been known to swim up to 300 miles to get food on an island. Another similarity is the fact that both animals use sound to show anger or for other kinds of communication. Finally, their social organization is alike in some ways. Female elephants and whales stay close to other females in the group and help them when they give birth. Main idea. A. Elephants and whales are the largest animals in the world. B. The social organization of elephants and whales is alike in some ways. C. Elephants and whales share many characteristics.
So what is the main idea of this one? A, B, or C?
Can see.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay, let me
See
go
one.
like this. Can you see it better now?
Yes, it's C.
Okay.
It's
I
A,
think
A,
it's
B, or
C.
C?
C?
C, correct, C. The other social organization is too specific, and elephants and whales are the largest animals in the world is too general. So the answer is C. Very good. Okay, we're not going to do the group activity, but we will read this together. Okay. So who has not read yet? Zahar, you already read, so you can lower your hand. Who's not? Go ahead.
May I read it, Miss?
Yeah, who's not going to read? And then Muhibullah, you'll read next.
For insects that live together in a large group,
But I can't hear you. Who's not? We can't hear you very well.
okay. For insects that live together in large groups, can you hear me now?
A little bit. Can you guys hear her? Is she okay or not?
Not clearly.
Not clearly, yeah. Can you get closer to the microphone?
No, we can't hear.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. Yeah,
These
that's much better.
for insects that live together in large groups. Now you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Now you're good.
Okay. such as honeybees. Communication is very important. One way they communicate is by smell. This is possible because all the bees in a group or colony have a common smell. If a bee from outside the colony tries to enter a hive, the home of bees, it's immediately attacked by the bees that live there. Another way that bees communicate is through movement. When one bee finds a good source of food, it tells the other bees with a kind of dance. Through the dance, the bee can tell others which direction to go and if it is near or far.
So what would you say is the main idea?
Communication between bees, honeybees.
Okay. And what are the two supporting facts?
Smell
And
and
one is
Movement and
other
also smelling.
So one way they communicate, so communication is the topic, right? How honeybees communicate, right? And the one main idea would be one way they communicate is by smell,
By
right?
smell.
Yep.
Another
And-
one is by
And by dancing.
movement and flying.
Movement.
movement.
Dancing is too specific, I would say, is through movement. So these are your details. These are your supporting point, and these are your details. So it's like an example, right? So I would say, yeah, smell and movement.
Movement.
Yeah, smell and movement. Okay, Muhibullah, I think it's your turn.
The main idea sentence should relate to all the ideas and information in this paragraph. It should not refer to ideas or information that are not in the paragraph. The first sentence may contain the main idea.
But not always, may, remember it's may, okay? Okay, so let's do this one on maps. Who would like to read? Who has not read? The class is so small today, I don't know what's going on. Lita, you already read, so I'm trying to get somebody who hasn't read yet. Oh, Marcel, okay, good.
Thank you, ma'am. Maps. What happens when you ask someone to draw a map of the world? The result can be interesting. All kinds of mistakes are commonly made. Some of the mistakes are simply a matter of drawing ability. Not everyone can reproduce on paper and what they see in their minds. But what people see in their minds is often not very accurate when it comes to geography. This is especially true in areas of the world that are far from their home country. For instance, many people do not know the relative size of continents. They tend to make their home continent larger and other continents smaller. Thus, a Brazilian tends to enlarge South America, while a Vietnamese enlarge Asia. Another common error also relates to point of view. But is common to people from all parts of the world. Everyone tends to draw Europe too large and Africa too small. This is true even for Africans.
So what is the main idea of this?
Common errors of drawing map.
Yep, common errors of drawing maps. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to do it together with the class. I'm going to time you, okay? You're going to have 3 minutes to read 2 paragraphs, and then you're going to answer the questions, okay? To find the best ending is what you're looking for. Okay, are you ready? I'm giving you 3 minutes, go. So go ahead and put what you think is the answer for number 1 and number 2. Put it in the chat box and I'll see if anybody gets it right. For number 1,
D and
do number
B.
1 and number 2. Just put it in the chat box. So, drum roll. The answer is D and B. D and B. How did you do? Some of you got it right, some of you
We
did
all
not.
got it right.
Not everybody got it right. So the reason why it's D for number 1 is because they're talking about they were the first the first animals that live with people on a farm. So that would be oldest, right? The first people. Somebody said only friend. No, we have lots of friends, right? But dogs were the first domesticated animals to be with humans. So that's why we say oldest friend. And this year, this number 2 is about fog. And fog is a major cause of accidents. When there's fog, they cannot see very far ahead, so they do not have time to avoid accidents. So the answer is B. D and B. Not B and B, D and B. Oldest friend and do not have time to avoid accidents. All right, let's try another one. Okay, I'm going to give you another 3 minutes. Go ahead, read these 2 and see if you can get the answers. Same idea, circle the best ending. Okay, you guys are getting the right answer this time. That's good. Good, good, good. A and C, Marcel. If you cook too many fruits and vegetables, you destroy the vitamin C. Very good. Seems like you got better answers. Okay, today's shout out is for Sheba. Is Sheba here? Yes. So
Yes.
Sheba wrote this beautiful post, and I wanted to share it with everybody because I think a lot of you in your discussions that you heard me say you're not connecting to the text, you're not connecting to the text, you're not connecting to the text. And this is a perfect example of how she connects to the text. Sheba, would you read your story here?
For sure, ma'am. Thich Nhat Hanh is a Buddhist monk, peace activist, and mindfulness teacher. He emphasized the importance of being fully present in the moment and cultivating awareness in daily life. Hanh also believes that mindfulness can bring peace, happiness, and a deeper connection to ourselves and others. I completely agree with Han's thoughts regarding mindfulness because the practice of mindfulness involves paying attention intentionally without judgment to our thoughts, emotions, and words. It encourages us to be fully engaged in the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. By practicing mindfulness, we can develop a greater sense of clarity, compassion, and acceptance. In addition, I follow this practice in my own life and I find it more beneficial to my life because it assists me a lot in reducing my stress, improving my mental well-being, and enhancing my overall quality of life. It can help me become more attuned to my own thoughts and feelings, leading to without worrying about leading to better decision making. Further, using this practice can assist each individual to be in the present without worrying about their past or future and become more aware of their thoughts and sensations. Additionally, it would be great for people to spread mindfulness in society as it helps them to comprehend better what they are doing or saying.
So the reason why I like this so much is the first section, the yellow part, is like a summary of what she read. The second part is whether she agrees or disagrees. The third part is how she applies what he said to her life. So I think a lot of you miss one of these parts when you're doing your discussion. So if you want to take a picture of this so that you can try to make sure when you do your discussions that you, now on Perusall, you have the 6 comments, so that kind of helps you with the structure. But when you do the discussion on Canvas, you need to be able to follow this kind of structure. So yeah, so Shiva, thank you for that. And this is what we're looking for. This is perfect.
Thank you, Mel. Really appreciate it.
So this is what you're missing. If I say you're not connecting to the text, you're probably missing the yellow or green or both. A lot of people put the blue part. You're really doing a great job connecting to your experience, but you're not connecting the text to your experience. So think about that. And if you want to take a picture of this so that the next time we do a discussion on Canvas, you can follow this format because it's a perfect format. All right, so let's take a look at what's going to happen the rest of this week. I'm going to let you out a little early today because you do have a little practice that you need to do. So we have, almost everybody has finished the topic and main idea practice. You still have your vocabulary practice, which is a writing assignment. And Thursday, you're going to have a test. And you must take this test on Thursday between 8 and 10 a.m. It's 15 minutes. You have 2 hours within 15 minutes to take the test. But if you want to practice the vocabulary review first, I would suggest doing this game because I kind of made the game to fit the test. As soon as we finish class today, you need to do this reading practice, main idea practice. I don't know where everybody is today. It's like there's almost very few people here. It's not the usual 24. I'm kind of, oh, we have 20. I guess I just don't see everybody. Let me see if I can stop sharing for a second. So 20 of 24, that's pretty good, actually. Let me take the screenshot for attendance. All right. Now let's go back to the screen. So you need to do this as soon as you finish class today. The main idea practice, it's worth 5 points. If you don't do it, you lose the 5 points. It's 10 minutes and it's going to be just reviewing main idea. And then tomorrow, tomorrow you have the test. And then we're going to do a Perusall. And the Perusall is the same thing where you need to post by Saturday and then respond to your classmates by Monday, okay? Any questions about what we have left this week?
No, ma'am.
No question.
Everybody understands that you have to take this main idea practice as soon as you leave class, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then tomorrow you have the vocabulary quiz, Unit 2, lessons 1 to 4. It takes 15 minutes. You do it between 8 and 10 a.m. If you have an issue with that, let me know. Can everybody take it tomorrow between 8 and 10 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
It's only
Yes,
15
ma'am.
minutes. Okay.
Yes, yes, we can.
And then we have perusal, the same as, it's the new reading, self-care. And so you'll do comments. I was much clearer this time. Let me show you. I feel like I'm getting better in my instructions for you guys. So so that I can make sure that you understand what I want you to do. So let's go here. Let's go modules, student view. All right. So this is self-care. And so comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, comment 4, comment 5, and then I changed it. Comment 6 is the 2 classmates, okay? And I have dates here for you and time, so you shouldn't be late, okay? Is it okay? Everybody okay with it?
Yes, ma'am.
I think my instructions are getting better. When my instructions get better, your work will be better. And then I put this here. So a lot of you lost some points on your discussion because you have too many run-on sentences. And I don't know if you're learning that in the grammar class or not. So I put a little exercise here. It's not required, it's optional. But if you do it, you might learn how not to have those run-on sentences so you won't lose points on grammar, okay? So that's there for you. So any questions? I want to make sure that I got Sadiq in the screen.
No question.
Okay. Let me make sure I have, somebody was connecting to audio. So let me just go through who I have on this list because somebody's missing. I have Sahar, Freshta, Lida, Mursal, Razia, Muhibullah, Hadisa, Amidullah, Shiba, Noria, Mahdi, I think that's Husna, H, Ravina, Sharifa, Mahdi, Husna R, Sahar, I think that's, no, who is the S? Was no, I have an H and an S.
It's me, ma'am. It's Safiullah
Oh,
Qureshi.
Sadiq, okay, Sadiq. And then Zara, 2 Zaras. And then there's one person connecting to audio. Would that be Roya? Yeah, I think it must be Roya. Okay. Roya. She has that problem. Okay, so I got everybody's attendance. I'll see you next week. If you have no questions, head off to take your main idea reading practice activity.
Bye bye, ma'am.
Bye, see you next week.
Have a great day, ma'am.
Bye.
Ma'am,
Yes,
am I supposed to bring the vocabulary practice? So the vocabulary words that you have given us, so I have to bring them in my sentence that should be about me?
a story. Yeah, any story you can write. You have to pick
Okay.
5 words,
Okay.
5 words. I think it says 5 words. 5 of the vocabulary words. It says to write about a memory from your life, and it says highlight and bold the 5 vocabulary. So you have to pick 5 of these words.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
You
Have a
mean,
nice day,
ma'am,
ma'am.
we should
Bye-bye.
we should put no.
Take the practice, the main idea practice.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Hadisa?
What is the due time of today's exercise?
The due time for the practice?
Yeah.
I think it's from now until, let me look. Oh, let me look on my PowerPoint because that's where I wrote it down. From 8 a.m. to 12, you can take it till 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
It's open now, but you can take it until 12.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.